Applying for your UK pension when you're living in Thailand. Nice. Look at that blue sky. Oh, yeah. Well, you can apply for it up to 4 months ahead of the time you're going to apply for it, which is, mine's in August, so I applied today. You can do it by phoning up the pension office in England, and you can also, for phone up, if you're on True Move, you phone 006 in front of the number, and that gives you a bit of discount on the amount it costs you to phone. And if you're on something else like AAS, or I'm sure if you look on the internet, Google it, it'll give you a number to call in front of the number, and then I pay 7 baht a minute for the call, which is better than 10 baht a minute. Okay, it's a little bit discount. So with that, you can either phone up and get a claims form sent to you. So I didn't want to do that because I wanted to do it all on the phone. So now when you phone up and do it all on the phone, you get some security questions. Don't answer. Last week I phoned up, but I phoned up too early, more than 4 months ahead, and they told me what questions they're going to ask. So I phoned today, and I knew roughly what questions they asked. They asked more than I expected, but the first lady rejected me because I was answering the questions before she asked. So don't do that. She put me on to another lady who asked the questions again. I held back. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm costing me 7 baht a minute, but I need to do this. So do it patiently. Have patience. Listen to what they say. Answer the question you're going to ask me. I've been in Thailand a long time, so the exact date I didn't know. So I looked on my passport and explained to this. I don't know the exact date I came to Thailand. But I had my old passport, what had the dates in there. I'm looking for somewhere to sit, but over in my normal place for sit, the sun is there. So I looked for the normal. I gave her 3 dates and said, look, be understanding, but I don't know which one I cancelled my pension on. And they have the details from your passport. So, and it's security questions, and I said, look, that's the last 3 times I left Thailand, and they were all within a year of each other, because when I first came here I had to bring things over and sort things out what I had left over, like selling the house, putting stuff into storage, which now all gone, but that's not the question. Anyway, the other question was my last address in England. Well, she didn't want to know my last address because I actually had a mailing address where I could send my letters so they could be sent to me from a friend. This is the one they wanted, the last one. Sometimes they ask for 2, but I just give them the one. So don't say the other one too unless they ask. And then she was asking how I paid my national insurance contributions and who was my last employer, which I was self-employed. They asked, did I ever claim from the government? I said, well, when I was young, I was in and out of work. So yes, I had some dole money when I was young. But I said, that was a long time ago. You're looking at 45, 50 years ago sort of thing. So I said, I can't remember any of those. But obviously they got it all on record. Anyway, they wanted to know, I told them the last one, I've been self-employed for 20 years before I came to Thailand, so more than 20 years. But the exact dates, I don't know the exact dates. And they asked if I claimed anything in that time. I said, well, when my father was in the hospital dying, the doctor signed me off for a couple of 3 weeks to take care of my mother. And it was only a couple of weeks, and I don't know exactly when, but I gave them a rough idea. And that seemed to be good enough. So now, when you claim for your pension, we all know that once you get your pension, living in Thailand, it's frozen from the time you get your pension. It's actually frozen from the time you apply for your pension. It's frozen from the time you apply for your pension, not from the time you get your pension. So you can apply for it 4 months ahead. It's frozen from the time you apply for your pension, apparently. I don't have a full pension, but it should be enough for me to survive on. I won't say live on, but with my bank problem, it's about £160 a week. So it's not enough to live on, but it's enough to survive on. But I have a house in the village, have my wife in the village and all the cats, and I have a condo here. So lucky enough, the rent on the condo's very cheap, because I've had it a long time, my condo, had it about 17 years, and then they never put my rent up. One day they will, then I'll check out. But I only stay here half the time, and half the time I stay in the village. I'll probably stay in the village more now, because everything's sorted out. I only have to come back here for the court cases for the bank and 90-day report. That's a pain in the ass. It's 90-day. I can do it by the post if I wanted to. But yeah, so I should get my pension. When they give it, you can get it every 12 weeks, is it? Or 13 weeks? Or you can get it every 4 weeks. I need mine every 4 weeks because I need it on time, because I've more or less worked out my money. I'm living on 20,000 baht a month at the moment, and that's not really enough, because I have to keep my wife. Sometimes she gets a little bit of farm work, but not that often. I mean, she's getting on a bit now. She had big power, but she's got to take care of the garden and take care of the cats. So she does quite well, but obviously she's not happy not getting so much, because the bank stole all my money. But I think things will be okay. Once I spend more time there and I can help her out, maybe I can help her out, because I have to do some gardening. But I've had a lot of heart problems at the minute, big heart problems. The last 2 or 3 weeks I've had pains in the chest, big pains. Like today, last night time, as soon as I get stressed or any exercise, I get big pains in the chest. Now, I don't have insurance and I don't have any money in the bank, because the bank stole it all. So when I go to the village, I'm going to go to the doctor. Yesterday I started taking aspirin. So far it hasn't helped, but I'm hoping that's going to ease it a bit, but if I need an operation, I'm not sure if I go back to England that the doctors will be helpful there, because you have to be there so long. I've been out of Thailand a long time. I don't think England's going to help me very much. And in Thailand, everything you pay for. I'm using government hospital in a minute, but I'm not sure that the government hospital would do any operations, and I'm sure they won't do any operations for free. This is for sure. I think when you get something serious, they send you to the private hospitals, and that is just to say they rip you off would be an underestimation. The private hospitals like you to be insured, and then they charge what they like to the insurance companies. So if you're insured, okay. But when I had the money in the bank before it got stolen, I had enough to self-insure. But when they all get stolen, you're pretty much up the creek without any fucking paddles. So anyway, I've done all that today. It took about an hour, but it actually cost me about 200 baht on the phone to make the phone call with the magic number in front. I phoned up about 3:30. 3:30 I phoned up, and on a Monday morning the phone was answered more or less straight away. So that wasn't bad, the first. And then when she put me through to another caller, normally when I phone up the pension, I wait 15 minutes before anyone answers the phone. Your call is important to us, blah blah blah. Please hold the line until it's not important to you anymore. But today I was luckier. Called straight away. So, and that was 3:30 I phoned. 3:30 Thai time. So it'd have been 9:30 English time. So that wasn't too bad. Otherwise it'd have cost me a lot more. So happy today, because I also got my visa this morning, my Thai visa, and done my 90-day at the same time. And yeah, so that take a bit of stress off. Now all I've got to do is pick up the passport tomorrow, and then I've got to go to the village on the bike. That I'm not looking forward to, because I have to go in a couple of days, within a week I think, because I'm going to rest a lot. And then I want to get there because I want to go to the hospital and check out my heart problem. So, yep, that's about it for now. Okay, thanks for watching.